Morning, entering Vayetze, going out. Chassidim going out on a mission to charge the world up with the light of Mashiach. Brilliantly described here in detail what that looks like. And the gateway towards that is learning Chassidus, learning with Rabbi Baruch and other people that devote their lives to this. It's so important, if you're a Lubavitcher Chassid, to believe the Rebbe when the Rebbe says, again here in this week's Parsha, that we've completed all of the rectifications required. Even the fixing of Esav, the nasty twin brother, that he too has been refined already, rectified for the purposes of, as we'll see, this sort of accessibility of a higher state of living, what I call being lit with the light of Mashiach, that the Rebbe describes here. And he describes the mechanics of the mission of Mashiach and how it's meant to affect every single person in the world. Good morning, Menachem. God bless you and your holy life. Everything about you is holy. Here the Rebbe says, take a look at it yourself. All of the Berurim have been completed. Esav's been rectified. We live in a Malchus Shel Chesed, a nation that has resources enough to be bountiful, and our bodies are ready for receiving the light of Mashiach, the Rebbe says, which means that there's going to be a person in the world who accomplishes such an authentic pursuit of truth and the experience of the true identity of a Jew that's described here at length, which is a literal representation of Atzmus of Hashem, the highest aspect of Hashem in your body right now. And the job of Mashiach is to realize that. So in other words, to be such an incredibly spiritual, such a giant of the heart, that he is the actual embodiment of Pshitas Ha'atzmos, the Rebbe says. And that's his mission, to teach the rest of the world to do that. So the Rebbe describes that as the process of, you probably wish I'd do this more, open my eyes. It's sometimes hard to see them, right? Here, the Rebbe teaches us how to do that. How can you open your eyes to recognize this reality, that the entire world is ready? And the Rebbe is basically saying, hello, he's the Mashiach, and I've accomplished this. Now trust me that you can do it too. It's nothing to do with making a cult of personality. The personality is entirely devoted to teaching every single person to do what that person has done in the world already. So every single Jew has the power, since this has been achieved by Mashiach himself, to open their eyes enough, kedeboyer as required, that they're zen, and you will see, the Alts is shine great, as everything's already prepared to der Geula, for the redemption. Mat shayin dem shulchan aruch, the table has been set. Mat shayin dem leviathan, we already have the Leviathan, V'shar bar, and the behemoth, v'yayin hameshumar, and the guarded wine, which we've spoken about all these things at great length here in my class, so you're expert already, I hope. And idin zitzen shayin bam tish, and Jews already are sitting at this table, shulchan avihem, the table of their father, because you're supposed to actually respect and honor your father and want to be at his table. Melech Malchei Amlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem himself, King of all kings, zusammen mit Mashiach Tzidkenu, together with this person that taught us this, Mashiach, wie steht in Sfarim, as bechol there is da echad mizer Yehuda shuroi liyes Mashiach. That it says that in every generation there is someone fit that comes from the descendants of Yehuda, he's fit to be Mashiach. U'b'derenu nasi derenu koik pushis chami admur, and the Rebbe defers to his father-in-law as the leader of the generation, way after he had left the physical world. Because the Rebbe became a shliach of the Frierdiker Rebbe, because the whole role of Mashiach, of the leader, is to teach a person to make a marriage. We spoke about this at length, how the work, the mission, is to make a marriage between the soul and the body in the most perfect way. That's the job of a shliach, as opposed to a shadchan who's got a vested interest of their own. And now that we've been 40 years past since this state has been achieved, we have now the leiv l'daas, the heart to know, v'nayim lirais. And when the heart knows, the eyes see, v'aznayim l'shmaya, and the ear hears. It's their darf nar zayin. Now there must only be, kalmor, as mizal efenen dim leiv hadas. So now we just translated the idea of opening your eyes to opening your heart, to open up the heart that brings knowledge, daas, experience. We always define it here as to like be present, rather. And to open up the eyes that are meant to see, and the ears that are meant to hear, and and to use your entire body with all of its parts, in addition to using your mind to learning Torah, and devote that to learning the inner dimension of the Torah as it's been revealed through Chassidus, like we're doing right now, and the teachings of the Rebbe's tradition that they had in Chassidus, including, and the Rebbe introduces this as a brand new, in terms of the previous Rebbes, they had never spoken of this in such direct way, saying that this is the mission, to learn what the Torah says about redemption. In a way that it should open up your heart, V'nayim v'aznayim, your eyes and your ears. Mizal verstehen, we should understand, zen and heren, see and hear, b'pashtus mamish and gashmas v'elam, in the physical sense, in the physical world you live in, the geula hamitis v'shlema b'peil mamish, the actual redemption, and learning Torah Mashiach, and learning the teachings of Mashiach, Pnimius Torah, the inner dimension of the Torah, ba'efen shel re'iyah, in a way that you experience, in a way like you would see something that affects you. Vision. Because all this is now accessible. You just have to open the eyes. And you will see it. And then, so the Rebbe says, practically, what am I supposed to do? So you're supposed to learn Torah, the inner dimension of the Torah, in a way of Bina, which has the power to bind spiritual with physical. And the Rebbe demonstrates how, when you interact with the world, it's your understanding of that world that brings meaning to it. So the inner teachings of the Torah define everything in the world around you, and you understand what they're meant to teach you. And you're supposed to therefore live with this message and take positive resolutions to devote yourself to this mission. And that is the end of that part of the Sikha. So tomorrow I want to go back a few steps. I actually want to go back to the last week's Parshas Telis, because I feel like I didn't really go over this with you. But I did post some things from last year that probably missed those spots. I just think that they're important enough to go over every year with a new mustache. Every day, the mustache gets a little whiter. That's probably the only difference. So, to try and sum up, If something's real in the world, but you simply can't see it because you're not, if you're gonna give me like the tiny fine print on like a can of soup, I'm not probably gonna be able to tell you, you know, there's some things that you have to be taught to see, so you get reading glasses or something. Here is a reality in the world that we cannot see because we have not trained ourselves to do this. Mashiach is a person who has achieved that ability to bridge the physical and the spiritual in such a perfect way that it is the actual embodiment of Atzmos of Hashem, the core divine personality, so to speak, in the physical world through you. And that's the message that the Rebbe wants us to achieve in us. Have a great day.